NASCAR. It's been one of those sports that has united America. The reason why it's united America is simple. Believed in old values. The values that made this country great. The values that united us. Before this goes much further, I specifically made this channel because I want to talk about things that really are bothering me, and not just me. See, I'm on NASCAR communities, from NASCAR heat communities, gaming, to just plain old talking. And Bubba Wallace, you are destroying NASCAR. And before anybody wants to say you're just a racist redneck, I have a mixed race son. He's not half black, he's half Mexican. Say that I'm racist is completely stupid. I would love to see more black drivers in NASCAR. I would love to see Hispanic drivers in NASCAR, Asian drivers in NASCAR. I would love to see every race in NASCAR. I would love to see more females driving in NASCAR. I am 100% for diversity in NASCAR. Nothing would make me happier as far as NASCAR goes than to see at least 50%, at minimum, 50% of the NASCAR field be something other than a bunch of white dudes. That would make me so happy. I would love it if when we looked in those stands on Sunday, when they eventually start filling back up, that there are more black people in the stands, more Asian people in the stands. So don't get me wrong when I say Bubba Wallace is destroying NASCAR just because he's black. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. What has something to do with it is that because of one person, one, not allowed to fly the Confederate flag, do your research, dumb shit. Alright? I'm not going to give you a history lesson. I'm not going to be one of those guys that says what the flag is for. Do your research. Do your history. To some people, it does symbolize racism. But those are the people that never did their research. They just watched the Dukes of Hazzard and say, oh, it's a bunch of white honky-tonks driving around a car with a flag on it. It's in the South, so therefore it's racist. No. Do your research, okay? So why is it, NASCAR, that because of one person, everybody else has to change their values? Well, let's look at Bubba Wallace's record to see if he's even worthy of changing anything in NASCAR. Now you got all these drivers that are supporting Bubba, and that's good that other NASCAR drivers do support Bubba, because Bubba does need to be supported because he is a driver, kinda. But is he worthy as a driver? As a human being, he's worthy. All human beings are. As a driver, is he worthy? What's he ever done? He's got what? Total of like a few wins? I mean, his record shows that if it wasn't for his skin color, he wouldn't even be in NASCAR. He wouldn't be in the Cup Series. I think he'd be a good Truck Series driver. I think he'd be good down there. Not in the Cup Series. He's a publicity stunt. And he wants to go around crying, changing all these rules. Whoa, because I'm black. Let me tell you something, dude. The only reason why you're in a Cup Series car is because you're black. That's it. That is it. That is the only reason you are in a Cup Series car. Now, I know Richard Petty Motorsports doesn't have the best equipment in it, but the only reason why you are in Cup Series is because you're black. And Richard Petty Motorsports cars, they've never really had good finishes after Richard retired, you know. Back in the prime, yes, Richard Petty Motorsports was awesome. Now they're not. But because of one dude, we all have to change our values. Now, there was supposedly a noose found in the garage in Bubba Wallace's garage area. Bullshit. Bullshit. I read an article this morning said that they think it was possibly a rope that was used for to tie down the garage, the garage doors. Seems logical, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. What isn't true is that a serpentine belt was mistaken for a noose. That's false. That's not true. But let's say that it actually was a noose, okay? Let's just say that it was. Let's just pretend that for a minute, shall we? You are going to tell me that $300 million worth of cars, not $300 million, I think it's about, I don't know, an average car is about 300 grand. You got 40 of them in there. I did the math yesterday, I don't remember. I think it was like $12 million, $15 million worth of cars sitting in the garage. Now, they're not going to have the best surveillance on every single car, every single door. So that way, as soon as, and not some of those pixely CCTV cameras where you see somebody and they're all pixely and then they just move, and they move, and they move. They're going to be the best cameras money can buy. And you're going to tell me somebody got in there without being seen? There's going to be tight-knit security all over that fucking garage. You can't tell me otherwise. This is all a farce. Just as much as the COVID-19 was a farce. Just as much as this whole George Floyd thing was a farce. It's stupid. It's stupid that we all have to change because of one guy. A guy who's done nothing in NASCAR but be an ignorant asshole since he's gotten here. I mean, look what he did to Alex Bowman last year. I'm not a Bowman fan at all. I don't dislike the guy. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of his at all. I don't root for him. Again, nothing against him. If he wins, great. He's not one of the guys that I go for. But Bowman was down on the ground. Heat exhaustion. From somebody who suffered from heat exhaustion before, let me tell you something. It's not fun. And Bubba, now you know what it's like because you had it at, what was it, Charlotte or Atlanta? Atlanta, I think. You got it. And you throw fucking water at him? A cup of water? Really? This is the guy that we're supposed to be bowing down to right now? A guy that ever since he's gotten into the NASCAR, especially the Cup Series, has just been an ignorant asshole, acting like his shit don't stink. And we're supposed to bow down to this guy? And anything he wants, we're supposed to just, okay, yeah, great. No, not the way it works. Let's talk about the rest of the NASCAR community that's just going along with everything. I'm not going to name any names, but there's other YouTubers. And I know this is kind of a dumb video. This is my first one, so just kind of bear with me. But you've got these other people that I was even subscribed to back before all this happened. Little Groove. There's always two parts to a iceberg. Some flags that matter. I was watching a video where they had the NASCAR president on their video. That was the biggest joke. Let me tell you guys something. Everybody was making fun of your video. You had, what was it, 5 guys, YouTubers, that that get together, and everything that NASCAR president said, this is what you all look like, okay? I think there was 5 of you. And everything he said, this was you. Just agreeing with everything. It doesn't matter what he said. Oh, I'm going to agree with everything you say. That way you endorse me. Yeah, that way we get more people on. Yeah. Let me tell you something. The NASCAR Heat 4 community that I'm in, the other NASCAR communities that I'm in, are against everything NASCAR is doing right now. We hate it. We don't like it. And just you guys being the top YouTubers right now for NASCAR, now you're part of the problem. Because you're trying to make it look like, oh yeah, all of NASCAR, this is what we want. Because we're the top YouTubers. Let me tell you something, there's somebody new now that's going to give it to you straight. NASCAR, you're messing up. Bubba, you're messing up. I was somewhat for you when you came into NASCAR. Thought, well, you know what? I looked at your stats when you came into the Cup Series. Your stats in trucks weren't impressive. Your stats in Swift Xfinity wasn't impressive. You're there because you're black. But I said, you know what? Let's give him the chance. Because we all gave Danica a chance, and we know how that came out. And you're just another Danica. Except you're a dude, and you're black. Plain and simple. All there is to it. There's a lot of people that aren't even watching NASCAR now because of this. And I don't blame them. I'm not watching it anymore. I won't watch it until they start letting them flags fly again. We pay the money to get into those tracks. We do. If it wasn't for us fans, Bubba, you want to get a paycheck. NASCAR, you want to get your money. Us fans are the ones that pay to get in. We pay the big bucks for those camping areas. I've been in the NASCAR races. I know how much they are to get in down there. If we want to fly a Confederate flag, we should be able to fly a Confederate flag. Don't be telling us what we can and can't do because of Bubba Wallace, the ignorant prick that throws water on people that are suffering from heat exhaustion, that flips people off for no reason. Same race, I know, same person. I watch the highlights, but I make sure it's not NASCAR and NBC or Fox, NASCAR Fox. When I watch the highlights, I make sure it's somebody that's not going to get money from my view. Just one guy viewing ain't nothing, but it adds up. You're messing up, NASCAR. You're messing up, Bubba. Suggest you stop. Us yelling and be getting paychecks no more because nobody's going to want to come to your races. Nobody's going to want to watch from TV. Y'all have any comments, negatives? Put them down there. Subscribe down there if you want real, actual NASCAR talk. If you want real talk instead of just a bunch of guys that are just going to nod their heads and agree with everything NASCAR does because they want the endorsements. Because they want the views. You want real NASCAR talk? You want honesty? Hit that subscribe button right down there. Y'all have a good day. Take care of each other. Goodbye.